Hey, welcome to the channel. This is Jerry Palladino at Muscle Cars Old and New. And tonight I'm at, I guess you can call it a local classic car get together. And I'm going to just show you a few of the cars, maybe get to talk to some of the owners. Some nice looking cars here. So I'm talking to a gentleman right now. What's your name, sir?
Wayne. Oh, I'm sorry.
His name is Wayne, and he's got a beautiful 1960 Corvette, fuel injected. Did you buy it new?
I bought it from the first original owner 57 years ago.
Wow, 57 years.
Yeah, I bought it in California when I got out of the service, and I paid $1,500 for it. And 3 months later, I moved back to Virginia Beach. I got out of the service. I moved to Virginia Beach and married my high school sweetheart.
Beautiful car. What kind of things have you done to it over the years?
I've had it totally refurbished 17 years ago. It sat in my garage for 25 years, completely stripped down to bare fiberglass with no windshield, no chrome, no nothing. And my daughter and I used to ride around in it in Western Carolina on cinder blocks.
And then you decided, what, 17 years ago, you said, to do a complete...
I retired and we moved down here and we sold our place in North Carolina that gave me enough money to get this thing done. After all those years, I worked on it off and on over the years, and all that had to be redone because it all went to pot after 10, 12, 14 years.
Yeah. Did you ever have problems with the fuel injection? They say a lot of people, they changed them back in the day from fuel injection to a carburetor because nobody knew how to work on them.
Well, the biggest problem, and I can show you, the biggest problem that they had and didn't realize it was this diaphragm in here. Okay, it was made of rubber and fiber, and it was sewn together, and it would those places where the thread had gone through eventually would get bigger and bigger and bigger due to the contracting and expansion of them. It started sucking either too much air or whatever, and people didn't know what to do with it. Even the people at the GM places didn't know what to do. I worked for GM in 1960, and we used to have these things come in, and they didn't know what to do with them. And it's pretty quick. It only weighs 2,680 pounds.
Hard to believe, when you compare it to today's cars. But you got the 5 mile an hour bumpers and the airbags and all that stuff. It just adds weight. And what are the new Corvettes? What, about 3,800 pounds, 3,700 pounds? And of course, they're putting out a lot of power, but.
I like the technology of the new ones. I just don't like the looks.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want a Ferrari, buy a Ferrari. And I won't say that too loud.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful car.
It.
Who's Duster? How you doing? My name's Jerry. What's your name?
John.
John, I've got a new YouTube channel called Muscle Cars Old and New, and I'd like to feature your car on it.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about it.
It's a 72 with 71 motors, 340. Used to be a 6-cylinder, avocado green. And I did all the work myself except the paint job. Everything else, positive rear end, the linkage, clutch linkage, everything, motors. I did everything. And it's almost 30 years old.
Wow.
That I worked on it.
So initially this was a Slant 6, and you did all the work and you turned it into a 340 Duster, yes. And the car doesn't know any better. It thinks it's a 340 Duster.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I do too.
Yeah. And it's got everything that the Duster came with. You got 4-speed in there. What rear end did you put in it?
It's a stock 323s. I went to the Boneyard up north. They had a Mopar junkyard, and I went there and I told them I want the whole linkage. Drivetrain out of that junkyard, out of that dot. It was a dot, A-bar. And back then it was dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Today, I only got like 5 invested on this.
What? How much?
$5 grand.
$5 grand. And you're counting the cost of the car?
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. The car ran me $125.
Hard to believe, yeah.
But-
But even today, if you find an old beat-up Duster with a six-cylinder, you're talking about what, $10,000-$12,000, depending on how bad it is.
Right, right, yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, I made it look like original.
Yes.
But it's not. Only the piston checks the VIN numbers.
Yeah, yes.
Everything else is original. 4-speed, everything. Body rear end, 4-speed transmission, 340, 71, 340. I could have gone with the 72, but it has less horsepower on 72.
yeah,
So I want
71,
max horsepower.
they still had the high compression in 71, unlike GM, who went to low compression. But Chrysler still had the high compression up until 72. So what was
Yeah.
it, 290 horse?
73, mid-year
Seven-
73.
That's when they went to the low compression?
72,
Uh-huh.
low compression,
Right.
73 mid-year. Then they changed to a 360.
That's right, I remember that.
Yeah. So I found it cheap enough, the motors back then, 25 years ago. You know,
Yeah, that-
it cost me 500. Now it costs you 5,000.
Oh, yeah, at least. Yeah, to find a nice 340, yeah.
It's a nice driver.
Well, I'm going to take some video of it, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Keep driving it. And here's a 340 Cuda. I always thought that my new Challenger looks a lot more like the Cuda than it does the actual Challenger. Automatic. And here we have a Roadrunner. These cars came out, I believe, in 1968. They advertised $2,995. Came with a 3-speed, 383. I think it was 335 horsepower. No carpeting, rubber mats, and they sold a ton of them. Now, it was tough to find on a dealer's lot the base car like they advertised it. So many of them came with where people ordered the 4-speed instead of the 3-speed, and they wanted a little luxury, at least carpeting. So by the time you got done, you were probably at about $3,300 for one hell of a beautiful muscle car that ran pretty good. High 14s with these cars was pretty normal on a stock car, and they had a lot of potential. Could also get them with the 440 or the Hemi. But standard was the 383. That's it for now. Once again, please subscribe, comment below, and thanks for watching.